Hey, what's going on guys? Nick from Confident Video here, and it has been quite a while since I've made a video, and that is just because I've been busy with school. As you can see, I'm in a new location right now. I am in my apartment on campus, so that's pretty exciting. I don't have to live with any roommates anymore, so I really can just kind of do whatever I want. I still have to be kind of courteous of the people living next to me, but I don't really have to worry about having to not record when nobody's in the house. That makes no sense. What I meant to say was, I don't have to worry about recording when there are people in the living space that I'm in. Since it has been a while since I've made a video because I obviously have been moving in and trying to get adjusted to classes and all that, I decided to make an informative vlog today. Sounded like someone's in my apartment. There's probably someone trying to murder me right now, no big deal. I'm wearing a hat because my hair looks like butt, so we are just going to jump right into the video. And since it is coming up to my 1-year anniversary of doing content, obviously before Confident Video, I did Kaname Crew on this same channel. If you don't know what that is, don't really worry about it, but if you did stick around since then, you know what I'm talking about. And Daishokan, which is coming up in a couple months, was my first cosplay music video, so I've been doing them for a year now, so I've done about 3 or 4 of them. So I kind of wanted to talk about how to get started making cosplay music videos, because I know a lot of people really want to try to start them and they don't really know where to start, or they don't know how they should go about filming one. So today I'm going to talk about the act of recording the cosplay music video, and then in a different video I will talk about the process of kind of editing a cosplay music video. So first things first is you obviously need something to record with, and you can just use anything for your first video. If you have a DSLR, great. If you don't go out and go buy one if you don't know how to use it. I did that and I kind of went in not really knowing what to do. Don't really do that, because also if you're going to be in a place with lower light, you're going to need a better lens than the ones that it comes with. Obviously, if you're going to buy a DSLR, the kit lens is great for good lighting, but if you don't have good lighting, then you're kind of stuck. Just use your phone camera. If you have an iPhone, if you have like an iPhone 7, that phone camera is amazing. You can use that. If you have a point and shoot camera, just use that. Just start recording stuff with the cameras that you have, and then when you start to learn how to use the camera more and you know concepts, then you can start going to something with a higher quality, such as like a DSLR or a mirrorless camera if you can afford one of those. I cannot afford a mirrorless camera because they are really expensive. Obviously, the next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to find a convention to which you can do a cosplay music video at. I recommend something which you can record a lot of cosplay and it's not really going to be a problem finding cosplay. So if you live in the Wisconsin or Midwest area, either Anime Milwaukee, Anime Midwest, or ASEN are pretty good cons with cosplay in them. There are obviously other ones, but those are kind of the best ones, where there's enough space for you to record. You really aren't going to run into problems of not having enough cosplay to record, stuff like that. Just kind of a medium to larger size convention will obviously be better for you than something that is a relatively smaller size, such as something like GeekCon, for example, which I did my last one on. It's a little hard to find cosplay, even for me, doing a lot of cosplay music videos. And then obviously the next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to record the cosplay at the convention, and this is kind of where people start to kind of ask questions about, like, how should I go about asking people, how should I record them, how should I pose them, stuff like that. I'll probably go more in depth into posing in a different video because it's kind of difficult to explain, but I will try to condense it the best that I can so it fits in this kind of 10-minute video or so. When you approach a cosplayer, you don't want to run at them, you don't want to scream at them from across the room, you don't want to you just want to be as nice as possible when you go up to a cosplayer, because they're people too. As much as they enjoy getting their pictures and videos taken of them, they are still a person. They don't like being shouted commands, they don't like having to be demanded to do anything, they don't like being chased. Just go up to a cosplayer, ask them politely if they're talking to somebody, if they're sitting down, if they're eating, just wait till they're done, or just come back another time. Usually if they're talking, I usually kind of politely wait behind them, and then I'll just say, hey, you know, I'm a videographer, I do cosplay music videos, and I'm just wondering if you would like to be in my cosplay music video. And if they say yes, great, we can move on to the next step. And then if they say no, or I'm busy, or I really have the time, then just say, okay, don't worry about it, have a great rest of your convention. You know, if they don't want to be in your video, they don't want to be in your video, and that's just the end of it. But yeah, just if they're sitting down, if it looks like they're tired, just don't bother. Or if they're running, or if they're going somewhere and you see them walking away, don't chase them. That just seems strange and weird. Just don't do it. if it's a small enough convention, you'll probably see them some other time, and there's obviously much more cosplay you can find. And if it's a really, really good cosplay, chances are they probably won't get that far anyway, so you could probably just follow them. It sounds weird, but just kind of go in their direction, and if you see them stop for a picture, you can go up to them and ask. I will kind of go into that. That's actually a rant of mine that I'll be going into is people taking pictures while I'm recording. Obviously something that I really don't like, but I put up with. But that'll be in a different video. So the next step that I have after if they say yes is I ask them if they ever have been in a cosplay music video before, because if they have, then I don't feel like I need to direct them as much. And if they haven't, then I ask them if they have seen one before, because the answers to these questions are kind of determining whether or not how much I need to direct them, what kind of pose I want them to do. Because if they haven't been in one and they don't know what a cosplay music video is, then I don't want them doing anything too complicated, because it'll be really daunting to them. I don't want them staying for too long, that kind of thing. So if they have been in a cosplay music video before, I usually be like, alright, so you've been in one, you kind of know what to do then. And then if I don't really have a pose for them, I ask them if they have a pose that they usually do either in videos or in photos. And if they have a pose they do in videos, then I kind of try to tweak it, because I don't like having the same pose in like multiple videos. So if somebody has a video of that same person doing a pose, I really don't want to have them do the same pose, just because I have that courtesy kind of towards the creator of the video. Sometimes, you know, you're thinking on your feet and you kind of just go with it, and I will admit to that. And then obviously if they have not seen a cosplay music video before, then this is kind of where you need to explain to them what it is. And I try doing it I don't want to say I dumb it down, but I try to make it sound as simple as possible. So I say it's kind of like photography, but you're moving and your poses are more dynamic and there's added movement to it, and it's to showcase the cosplay in a creative way. And at that point they usually understand what I'm talking about. So that at that point it's a little easier to kind of go about it. If you explain it poorly, it'll be more hard on them, because they really don't know what you're doing. Also, cosplay music video creators, I guess, do cosplay music videos in a certain way. I've had it where people think that they need to be moving slowly for the video, which is not what I ask them to do. I'll say, no, just that's one person's way of doing it. I do it a different way. So after you have them have a pose that you would like to do, you need to think of the camera angle that you're going to be doing it. And starting out, don't really stress too much on how to move the camera or how to kind of transition clips or anything like that. You can really worry about that when you kind of get used to posing people more. You can obviously just clip cosplays in, and as long as the poses are good and you kind of match it with the music, it won't be as obvious of cuts, which is kind of what I like to do, because I think of it more as a cinematic thing where the editing goes more with the music, and it's less about the clips looking like it's one neat, cool transition where I used to do this, but I don't really like to do it that much anymore, where it's like I go up like this and then the next clip comes from down, so it's like, whoa, it's like one clip moving up. I don't like doing it that much anymore, because the issue I have with that is that it requires a lot more work to match it with the music, and at some points it just looks unnatural, because you'll need to speed up and slow down the clips. And while I do that from time to time to match it with the music anyway, sometimes it just takes too much of a drastic change, to which it just doesn't seem worth it to me to have to work that much, and it just doesn't really look that great to me. And that's just my personal taste. Obviously, different creators have different tastes, and some people love doing that. I just don't really like doing that anymore. So obviously after you do the pose, you can either give them a business card or tell them where it's going to be posted, and I usually tell them when it's going to be posted so they know when to look for it. So if I say it's going to be up Wednesday, I usually am going to have it up by Wednesday, unless if I run into technical difficulties, which doesn't really happen that much, but it still does from time to time. And then you just keep doing that all the entire convention. So pretty much as long as you want to do it. I usually don't record at night. I forgot to mention that. I don't like to record at night because it becomes more difficult to get really high quality footage. I know some people say, you know, why should you care about the quality of the video if it's a little grainy or whatever? That shouldn't be that big of a deal. And the way I see it is that your video should look really good quality, especially if you're on a lower end camera. Low light is going to look really, really bad, and then if you have a nice camera, low light kind of looks eh. But I like my footage being as crisp as possible because it's something that I strive for. I know there's people out there that think, you know, quality doesn't matter, but in reality it does. It does matter quite a bit because it shows what you're doing, and I think that obviously adds a lot to the video. So obviously that is how you do a cosplay music video. You just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. And I know even some people that have done cosplay music videos for years still have issues with kind of certain aspects. Like, I know there's people that have issues with approaching people right away. I know usually when you get to a convention, it's kind of hard to start recording because you kind of want to put it off. I don't know, it still is work to me. But once I get rolling, that's when I usually start to go. You know, once I get that first cosplay, that's when it's go time for me. So I hope this helps, and if you have any other questions about cosplay music videos, make sure to leave them in the comments below, because I would love to help anybody that would like to get started with cosplay music videos. And then if you just want to get started with any convention content, and you have any questions about cameras, equipment, or anything, you can also ask me. You can ask me on Twitter, you can ask me in the comments, whatever. So that's going to do it for this part of the video. I will try to upload an editing video sometime soon. However, it is going to depend on how much my computer would like to cooperate with me. So just bear in mind that it might not be for a little bit. But if you're just starting out, editing would not be that advanced. So the video that I would put up would be more of an advanced video for anybody that kind of would like to push their editing skills further. Because if you're just starting out, just put the clips in behind music that kind of goes in sync with the music, and that's really not that hard. You can do that in Windows Movie Maker, you can do that in iMovie, whatever. It doesn't take that much effort. That's going to do it for this video, and I will see all you guys at the next convention. See ya.